So we all like to have a clean space, but sometimes the act of cleaning feels like drudgery, feels like something nobody wants to do. Today I'm sharing 5 things that have really helped me to actually love cleaning. And I know there might be a lot of emotions in there, but we're gonna address those, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm April Perry from LearnDoBecome.com. Essentially, we're here to help people out of the overwhelm, and cleaning a house is part of that. When I was growing up, I didn't really ever clean. Had the greatest parents, but they just didn't require us to clean. I didn't know how, we didn't have a lot of tools, and I just kind of grew up in piles and a lot of mess. And it took me a lot of years to actually learn how to do it and how to love it. And I want to share this today because everybody needs to do some cleaning. Even if you hire some out or you have other people who help, we all need to kind of keep things moving. And there are a few things that will make a huge difference for you, where you're actually going to enjoy the process and have a clean house as the result. When I first started talking about this subject, I was a little bit nervous because I know that there are a lot of emotions, gender stereotypes, concerns, frustrations, all of that behind cleaning. And so there are a lot of great conversations we could have on that. But I really sat down and thought, what are some principles that can apply to all people everywhere about cleaning space? And there are 3 that I identified. First, there is value in life-sustaining work, and there is a psychological lift available to anyone who participates. Second, our job is not to force others to see the value or to feel that lift. And third, our job is to decide what amount of work and kind of work makes sense for our unique situation, to have respectful discussions with others in our household so we can cooperatively balance our responsibilities, and to take ownership for our own experience. And at the end of the day, whether you agree with me or not, I hope that the things I'm going to share here are going to help you and your housework and your own experience to be a really positive thing in your life. So first, select your standard. This is where you look at your current responsibilities, the number of people in your household, the size of your home, the amount of work that needs to be done, to feed, clothe, nurture everyone there, your personal energy level, and the availability of others who could share the work. We also just think about where we want to be on the clean, messy spectrum. So the phrase that Eric and I have decided works for us is clean enough to be healthy, messy enough to be happy. So I encourage you to look at where you want to be and select your standard. So what I've done is I've identified, here's a list of things that I will do every single week. And then here's a list of things that I will either do occasionally or I will hire out. I'll just take you through a quick list. The things I will regularly do are clean the fridge before I go grocery shopping, do the floors and vacuuming, clean the bathrooms as needed, wipe the walls and do dusting, and then the daily maintenance like beds, dishes, and a reset. And then the things I will occasionally do or I will hire out include the oven, blinds, baseboards, under the furniture, deep cleaning of showers, tops of cabinets, windows. So when I look at those lists, I can clearly see where my stewardship is and what feels manageable to me given the work I do and the people in our family, and this feels happy. And yours might be totally different than mine, but just having it written down and maybe shared with the people in your household where everybody can see what each person is carrying, what their workload is, I think will give you a lot of relief from the start. Number 2 is clear clutter and routinely reset rooms. So first of all, on clearing the clutter, if when you go into a bathroom or kitchen or bedroom to clean, if all the clutter is gone, 80% of the angst and the time that it takes to clean just goes away because you just can go right in, wipe down, vacuum. It feels a lot more fun. I have a video where I described 8 decluttering insights that totally changed my life when I first learned, 20 some years ago. So we'll link to that in the description. I just encourage you to learn how to get the clutter out first, okay? And then routinely resetting rooms is also a great skill. This is something that's spoken about by James Clear in the book Atomic Habits, where whenever you leave a room, if you just reset it, fold the blankets, put the dishes away, make the bed, just move through the home as though you're resetting it for the next time you come in. That also just makes cleaning so simple because then you're not doing all of that at the same time. So I really encourage you to learn how to get rid of the clutter, reset your rooms, and just make that part of your natural habits every day. Number 3 is to revisit responsibilities and replenish relationships. So revisiting responsibilities means that you actually do sit down with your family members and decide who does what makes sense, who's making the mess. My mom always said, you guys have the dropsies. You come home and you just drop everything. So teaching our family members how to put keys away, where to put the mail, where to put their shoes, where to put backpacks, things like that. It makes a big difference. And also being able to have honest conversations where if you're doing 90% of the housework, but other people are making 90% of the mess, then that's a conversation that needs to be had. Having those conversations, even if they're challenging, can be incredibly helpful. But the main thing I want to emphasize here is that housework truly is about relationship building. I took a class back in college called Work and Relationships in the Home. I've thought of that class every single day of my life because instead of just focusing on the task, I always ask the question, how could I make this task, activity, etc., into a relationship building experience? So for example, when I had a little toddler and it was time to do housework, she would go get the little trash bins or she'd sit by me and we'd fold laundry together, we'd do dishes together. As our children got older, whenever we'd fold blankets, we would take turns, or not, we would each hold one end and we would fold and we'd give each other kisses when we brought the blankets together. As we'd chop vegetables or prepare dinner, we're there having discussions and unloading the dishes together and making housework something that really bonds you, because when you're doing housework together, it's kind of mundane and it gives your brain the ability to just think, talk, connect, share values, share stories, laugh, sing, be able to actually have a really good time together. So I just made a rule, like I don't do housework alone. And if everyone is gone, especially now as our children are starting to leave the house, then I maybe get on the phone with a friend or I connect with God. Again, that's a relationship building type of thing. So when I just change that little perspective from, oh man, here's this big mess I need to clean, to how do I start having a beautiful relationship building experience through this task, everything changes. Number 4 is to tighten up your tools. So one of the reasons I didn't love doing housework when I was growing up is because I didn't have any tools. We had maybe some towels and maybe some paper towels and a couple cleaning supplies and a vacuum that kind of worked, but I just didn't know how to get tools and then clean with them and what to do with them afterwards. I just didn't have any concept of that until I got to college and was very surprised that people actually had cleaning supplies and cleaning tools. So I'll just share a few that have been helpful for us. And if you have other cleaning tools you love, please put them in the comments to share. But 3 that have been really helpful. One is just having a little electric vacuum that we use in the kitchen instead of sweeping. This has been amazing and we just got it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see it. But that just has helped we have hardwood floors on our main floor and it's made it so easy and I just don't have to sweep and do the dustpan thing anymore. So love that one. Another one is we have a caddy, little plastic caddy that we use. So if you need to take cleaning supplies from one room to the other, it can just all go with you. That was especially helpful when we had all of our children living at home and they would be taking turns cleaning their bathrooms. All the supplies in one place was just awesome. And then a third one, I was at a friend's home and it was an Airbnb that her mom and her aunt were running together. And as our group left the Airbnb, her aunt said, "Oh, I just love cleaning toilets. I can't wait to clean." And I thought, what on earth? I don't mind cleaning toilets, but I don't love cleaning toilets. And she said, "Oh, if you just get a good pumice stone and you can just get that toilet so perfect." And so I asked her what she was talking about and she told me about these little pumice stones that have a handle and you can order them and you can clean the toilets. Well, I have a few toilets that needed that, and when I got those pumice stones, the toilets look so great. Anyway, now whenever I clean toilets, I think of my friend's aunt and how excited she was, and it's kind of contagious. So just a few things like that. I know it might sound a little silly, but it makes a big difference. And then it leads us to number 5, which is my favorite. Number 5 is to mindfully create magic. I actually consider cleaning the house to be as personally replenishing as lunch out with friends. Now, I also run an organization here at Learn to Become. I have a lot of work to do. We have things in the community we do in our family and all kinds of things. So our life is full, but I cherish my time I spend cleaning, and here's why. Either I'm having a relationship building experience with other people who are in the home, or I'm connecting with God or listening to music, an audiobook, something that I enjoy while I'm cleaning. And it's almost like as I'm getting our physical environment clean, I'm also assessing how I'm feeling spiritually and emotionally and socially. And it's like I'm getting all of this in alignment, assessing the items we have in our home. Do we need all these things? Do we want all these things? How am I using my time and my energy? Maybe I'm thinking about something that we're working through right now, maybe a challenge that one of our loved ones is going through, or I'm trying to make a decision. And so the act of just cleaning allows me to slow down, to create order, and then to feel that little lift inside. I don't clean when I'm exhausted. I make sure I get a little rest beforehand, or I prioritize time around it, but I'm actually doing my cleaning tonight and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to put my hair up in a ponytail and just put on my t-shirt and put my headphones in and go around the house, making it just clean, tidy, organized, and feeling so happy when it's done, and then enjoying the benefits from it for the rest of the week. And it's actually really sweet the other day because I was talking with my college-age daughter about this topic in this video I wanted to record. And she said, you know, it's really nice because when I invite friends over, I don't have to worry that the house is messy. Now, we'd had a big event with several of her friends who'd come over for a barbecue and had a great time together. And she had come early to help prepare the food and, chop the fruit and get everything prepared. But she didn't need to worry that the whole house was just going to be, messy. And when I was growing up, we didn't really have guests over because it did cause a lot of stress for my mom, my dad, my family, just to have people in our space when it just wasn't clean and wasn't ready. And so all this to say, having a clean, organized house is going to be a benefit to you in so many ways. And you probably already know that. But if right now you're kind of pushing people out of your space, or you're kind of avoiding being in your home, or you're always pushing off cleaning to the last thing because you'd rather do something more fun, I encourage you to see the fun that really is in it and to be able to do whatever it is that makes sense for you, but do it in a way that gives you that lift. If you're ready for more, we have a link in the description to our free training, How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles, and you can learn how to create a system that gives you that peace of mind, and we hope you enjoy it.